Lord, the veil is taken away. Now where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom, and the Lord is Spirit. But we all, with an unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of God, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. So 2 Corinthians 3, Paul's saying, we have a ministry of the Holy Spirit, not of Moses. Okay, what Moses and Exodus, I believe it's around chapter 20, was the Ten Commandments. What the Exodus represented there was the law, the keeping commandments. It was the desires of God. But remember, Moses had to put a veil over his face. They couldn't come near the mountain. It said if they even touched Mount Sinai, they would die and that was the ministry, the Bible calls it, of condemnation. That was the ministry of death. And God says now we have the ministry of life. We have the ministry of the Spirit, which allows us to unveil our faces and not have to go through all of these rituals and practices and sacrifices to come into the holy place. We can now enter into the Holy of Holies by prayer, because Jesus, when he died on the cross, the veil was torn. And so living in the Spirit is looking at Jesus. Okay? Hebrews 12 says this: since we've been surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off every weight, every sin which clings to us so closely, and let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, he despised the shame, and he's seated at the right hand of God. So Hebrews 12 makes it clear that the goal of living by faith is walking focused on Jesus, keeping your eyes fixed on him, right? The enemy's going to try to get you to take your eyes off of him, like Peter when he walked on water and he put his eyes on the wind and waves instead of keeping his eyes on Jesus. So guys, the Spirit in John 14 through 16, it says the Spirit's role, the Holy Spirit's role, is to glorify the Son, to glorify God, to keep your eyes on Jesus. I only have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to close with this last point very briefly. So the ministry of the Spirit is walking by faith and not by feelings, living for Jesus and not for the law, and living for eternity instead of what's temporary. Guys, living by the flesh is doing what you want here and now, right? It's getting everything here and now. But living by the Spirit is living by patience and trusting that you're storing up treasure for eternity. You're living for eternity. You're living with your mind set on things above, not on things of the earth. Romans 8 says, those who set their minds on the flesh, right, they live according to the flesh. They live according to what they want here and now. They're living by emotions. But those who set their mind on the Spirit are living with their mind set on things above, which is eternity, right? Colossians 3 says to seek the things above where Christ is. So, we have to set our minds on things of eternity. So I'm going to come to a close because I have to get going right now. We have youth group starting soon, so I want to make sure I'm ready for that. But God bless. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out and live by the Spirit. I encourage you to read Romans 8 and ask the Lord to show you more of his word.